There's been a lot of recent media attention around online communities, specific websites, where individuals are sharing ways to exploit their own partners for the gratification of others. And many people are asking, how is this even possible? 62 million. I want to address this from a scientific standpoint. While this is appalling and disturbing, it is actually not surprising, and it is nothing new. When we look at decades of research on the Dark Triad, psychopathy, narcissism, Machiavellianism, and the addition of sadism in the Dark Tetrad, we see consistent, measurable, and predictable patterns. Individuals high in these traits are more likely to feel entitled to sex and access to others' bodies, to use persistence, manipulation, and intoxication to obtain compliance, to show reduced empathy and diminished guilt, to endorse beliefs that justify coercion within relationships. In controlled studies, higher levels of narcissistic and psychopathic traits predict a greater likelihood of using coercive tactics after a partner refuses intimacy. There is also research showing that a meaningful percentage of women report experiencing forced or non-consensual sex within marriage. Estimates often cited around 1 in 4. Please hear me when I tell you, the narratives that this is about misunderstanding, unresolved childhood wounds, or traumatic reenactments is false. It has been refuted and challenged by science. These are intentional behavioral patterns supported by stable, pathological, antisocial personality traits. Research from evolutionary psychology, including the work of David Buss, also shows that certain personality traits predict coercive mating strategies. For individuals high in psychopathic traits, relationships are approached as opportunities for short-term sexual gain, exploitation, and control. There is also evidence that in a subset of men, not traumatized men, coercive sexual behavior is preferred and sought out, even over willingness and consent, without guilt, shame, or remorse. So when people ask, how could millions of people be drawn to this kind of content, to this type of website within a month? Millions. The answer is not that social media is the problem or something new has emerged. It's that we have consistently underestimated the role of biologically based antisocial behavior and personality traits, and overestimated the idea that the environment can explain all these behaviors. While it is true that some individuals aggress because they see it as a form of survival, it is also equally true that others aggress because it works for them and because it feels good for them. It is critical not to collapse those two profiles into the same explanation. This growing tendency to attribute all maladaptive behavior to insecurity, trauma, or adversity in upbringing is not supported across the full body of evidence. These people are not acting out or crying for help. Their operating system and their belief system are centered on access, control, and personal gratification. Personality research has proven that individuals with these trait configurations actively select, shape, and reinforce the environments they choose to participate in, including online environments. They don't just fall into these spaces. These are not unconscious processes. These are deliberate patterns of behavior carried out with consistency and determination. The most effective protection for victims is not to try to change these people or talk sense into them or talk about their childhoods with them. It's recognizing the traits and getting out as early as you can. These despicable acts are just that, despicable, but they are also predictable when it comes to hard science.